Hello and welcome back to Chainsaw Saw Saw. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Betty.
And Jim's a vampire.
I am Vampire Hunter C for Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
So, we are talking about the Chainsaw Man manga, chapters 142 to 149. Bit of a big chunk here.
I didn't even think about a vampire devil. I know they have a bat devil, but a vampire devil, though.
I wonder how many people are scared of vampires versus, like, actual bats, because, like, vampires are fictional, but unless they aren't. I don't know. Honestly, in Fujimoto settings.
That is actually true. They could pull a Gantz where they surprisingly...
God, I didn't want to mention it. I don't want to fucking mention Gantz, and it's surprise vampires.
Surprise vampires that are introduced like 100 chapters before they do anything. It's great.
The Frankenstein devil gets mad because it's Frankenstein's monsters people are afraid of, and not the actual, like...
Not the man himself.
Not the man himself.
So yeah, we're here. We're talking about quite a big chunk of little chaps. But it's funny though, because like I just sat down and I read all of them again, and actually I hadn't read 149. I totally missed that, so I was happy to actually have read that. But I was kind of surprised at how like perfect this like batch was to talk about, or for like, because it's like everything kind of takes place like within the same scene, sort of.
Yeah.
Or at least a lot of it. So it actually, I think it worked to our advantage putting this off a little bit.
And also it was just like where Fujimoto just shifted or hit the nitrous button and just like everything's gonna happen now.
It feels a lot like the International Assassins arc over again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That, or even like kind of like a larger scale version of the Makima coup thing, like when not coup, but like when all the gun devil guys like have a surprise attack against
assassination attempt.
Yeah, because it's like a big scale event, like a big like orchestrated devil attack or like devil power attack, and well, of course that's later on kind of like a false flag. Whatever. But yeah, International Assassin arc is a better counterpoint just because there are so many characters, and
also we open up at a theme park that looks very similar to the theme park at the top of the building during International Assassins, like big, like smoking aces moment.
It's funny too because similarly, there's also the introduction of Quanxi. The reintroduction of Quanxi.
Yeah,
because I think that's when she came in, right? It was during it was
International Assassins. She was that's when she showed up. She didn't do her thing until like the fights had already started, but she was like a prevalent threat.
Yeah, and this is similarly like a kind of shit hits the fan kind of moment. Like everything else before this was kind of us just kind of bumbling around, like living, but now it's like the stakes are immediate, the danger is real. I love it.
And he didn't have to kill a character to prove that point, though.
Well, we'll see.
People took damage, but like no one like died.
A lot of like normies died, like a lot of civvies. 3,500,000 people died, presumably.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to the gun devils. But yeah, the first chapter is 142, the Denji fan club, which
This is like fucking. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like when I was reading this, and I've been thinking so much lately about like battle shonens versus just like, let's call them good shonens like Chainsaw Man, where it's like there's like the fighting is not what takes up all the time. Like it is like these really great character moments, and this whole scene with I forget her name, Fuyatsuka. What's the girl?
Fumiko or
Fumi? Is it?
Or, no, it's oh damn it! Her name is escaping me as well.
It's because it's said so infrequently.
I want to say Fujiko.
I think it is Fujiko. This is like such an incredible little chapter that we just get like tons of focus on her, and I fucking love it. And I'm just like, yes, Chainsaw Man is good.
No,
I know we're all like.
Fujiko is the name of the fucking Lupin character. 1 second.
I'll
just look it up. You guys continue talking about
I know we're all like furiously trying to look this up. Yeah, I immediately was thinking of like Fujiko Mine. But Yeah, I really just love this like uh the laid back kind of nature of this chapter. It has that feeling of like impending doom, the same way that like a lot of the um Rize chapters kind of had, like this kind of background
Fumiko.
feeling.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, it's Fumiko. Okay.
Okay, so the reason this was such a fucking like, is it Fujiko? Well, Fujiko's name is Fujiko Mine. This is Fumiko Mifune.
That's very funny.
So
Okay.
enough.
Bastard.
I feel like I got like anagrammed in my brain from sounds.
That's very funny. Also, this is such a total tangent, but I don't think we've ever discussed this in the show. So Sam and I were just both in Japan, and Family Mart is one of like the biggest like convenience stores, and it's often referred to by the Japanese as Famima. And our one friend who lives there was saying that, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but he thinks that like Fami, like the devil, her name is like a pun based on like Family Mart, because she's like always eating like garbage like convenience store food and shit. And I just thought that was really funny.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like some truth to that. I know Fujimoto loves his 7-Eleven. So like he loves his like going down to his little mart and getting his garbage food.
7-Eleven is fucking amazing in Japan.
Oh, is it? Okay, that makes sense.
Family Mart had a way better selection of food.
No. Sam's got it wrong. Family Mart? Okay, here's how the tier list goes. So, Lawson is like amazing. Lawson is like you enter like a VIP lounge, but it's like a convenience store. Then there's 7-Eleven, which are great, and they have like wonderful like warm food selection and like also just a lot of like fresh made food there.
If you want warm food, yeah. But...
And then Famima is like, oh, we have like the Jujutsu Kaisen crossover, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like the trashy one, but
hey.
you know.
If I see like, Gojo and Nanami like plastered in front of their store, I'm gonna go in there and get some like onigiri.
Okay, sorry, that was just a funny tangent about Fami's name. But yes, so returning to Fumiko, I really like Fumiko's little thing here. She basically gives us her tragic backstory.
Yeah, which I thought, oh, this is when she dies, but no.
It's kind of cool too, because it really does mirror what's his face, Aki's story, and it's kind of like that kind of metaphorical, like the cycle of violence kind of thing, where like Aki's family was killed by the gun devil, and it like changed his life. And when Aki became the gun fiend or whatever, also killed all of Fumiko's family and kind of set her on this path. So there's almost like this continuity of like trauma that's propelling characters toward Denji.
Though I do like the difference between them is that Aki joined the oh my god, public safety to hunt and kill the gun devil, while Fumiko joined it to help Denji because she saw the human element behind the devil fights instead of the like just seeing the devils as all monsters.
Denji's only fan.
Yeah, I love that she has that little line like, I'm not a Chainsaw Man fan, I'm a Denji Senpai fan.
She's great. I mean, like, she's a very conflicting character due to certain events in the story, but I really like her.
I like her a lot, too. But then the ultimate nice moment is, like, immediately, like, ruined by Flamethrower.
Yes. Fucking...
This guy fucking rules.
He is one of the... He has such an intimidation factor to him in his just presence. I'm digging him as an arc villain.
Yeah. I don't know. I love how much losers like the actual weapons are.
It is awesome just knowing how like powerful Chainsaw Man is, and then comparing him to all the other weapons where they just get jobbed out like immediately. It's really funny to me.
At least Longsword got to like transform into its like fiend or its devil form.
I also love him. I saw people talking about these two characters talking about Denji like this as like a Fujimoto addressing both sides of the fan base. The people who are into Chainsaw Man, the people who are into Denji as a character. Like because Braham, I think that's how you say his name? John Travolta flamethrower?
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I guess it's Braham, right?
I think so.
I'm very bad with
but
names.
The way he talks about Chainsaw Man is he wants to see the violence, he wants to see the action, he wants to see Denji turn into the Chainsaw Man and fight things. While Fumiko wants, Fumiko, yes.
Fumiko, yeah, you got it right.
Okay, Fumiko wants him to remain Denji and live amongst people and like grow up into a regular person, and that's just kind of like the conflicting nature of when people talk about Chainsaw Man. Is they either really like the bombastic action of things or they like the character study, and I think that this is a very interesting like way to address that if that is what Fujimoto is going for.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and I mean, just like you don't have to look further than Fire Punch to be like, oh yeah, what's his? Oh my god, you just said his Fujimoto. I can never remember his name. Fujimoto will just do insane metaphors with his character, or like his characters will just be so like extra textual in a way.
I never read Fire Punch, but even reading a lot of his one shots are like, or the early one shots are like crazy like that.
Oh yeah, like he has a way of writing stories that always is like, it may not be as fascinating in the moment, because I remember like this chunk of chapters that we read, there was a lot of people complaining at the time that it was going a little slowly, or I think there was like 3 2-week breaks within this 9 chapter sum. Well, actually, might be 10. We're 42 to 49.
Yeah, we're 42, 49. So
okay, so a decent chunk of chapters. There was a bunch of 2-week breaks, and you'd come back and it'd be a shorter chapter than normal, or a slightly longer chapter but with no action. Denji hasn't turned into Chainsaw Man in a good minute.
Yeah.
And like every break, like, oh man, they gotta start killing these children right in front of us. Like, maybe 2 weeks to find out if these 3 nerds are going to kill.
Yeah.
Fucking
so that's like the kind of cliffhanger is that we begin chapter 143 with
you
this
gotta wait till like Tuesdays to get Chainsaw Man compared to every other, like almost like every series other than like Chainsaw Man and I think Dan and I think Kaiju number 7 also come out on a random day in the week.
Yeah, we got our Sunday weekly Shonen Jump, we got our Monday Dan, and then we got our Tuesday Chainsaw Man, and I don't give a fuck about manga after that.
Yeah, I think Dragon Ball Super and Boruto come out the same day, like once a month, and everybody like hates reading Boruto.
People should just read things they like. That's my hot take.
You tell the My Hero fans that are just like hate read that, but for the most part.
I do understand like being so invested in something that goes bad that you like want to stick with it to the end, but sometimes you have to like acknowledge the unhealthy nature of that and just be like, I need to only engage with things that make me happy. Or at least are enriching in some way, not just like hateful.
Jujutsu Kaisen readers were like that until like a recent arc was like peak from what I've heard.
Oh my god, the most recent arc of Jujutsu Kaisen was so fucking good. I can't get into it fully because it's so far past where the anime is just setting wise, but oh my god, the last fucking like I guess not really an arc. It was like a 4-chapter long fight, and it was the fucking best.
That's all we need.
I've been loving the anime. I haven't. Sam and I are like a week or so behind. I don't know if they like.
Yeah, we're only 2 or 3 episodes. We might do another session of it soon.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were actually going to take a break because it seemed like a lot of the staff like were stopping because they couldn't physically work anymore. All right, whatever. This is not a JJK podcast anymore.
We have one of
This
those,
is a Chainsaw Man podcast.
This is that one. You want that?
So yeah, chapter 143 begins with our 3 nerds.
Roar chapter name.
Yeah, it is the RAR XD.
No, it's
I'm a dinosaur.
RAR.
I know, that's fucking hilarious. But so I just love these little
the 3 nerds.
characters. This is like a hilarious, just like classic kind of Chainsaw Man scene where these stupid characters are kind of like talking past each other, like they're all trying to like outcool each other in different ways.
Yeah, it shows how disorganized this group is as a whole. You got characters who are basically saying things past, like you said, talking past each other. We have our fucking young hag, 82-year-old.
Yeah, she's
whip.
apparently 82. When I read the first time, or the second time, I was like, wait, was there like a joke where she was like lying about that? And apparently not. Apparently she actually is 82.
So I guess like becoming a weapon like just halts your age entirely, and so we just got this grandma.
That is kind of a big reveal, actually.
Well,
It's kind of like a
Quanxi-
Curse of the Ava sort of reveal.
I don't know. Quanxi always they never seem to age. But
That's true. Quanxi.
Oh yeah, isn't she super old too? She
yeah,
like 60 or
she
something.
worked with
She-
young.
Yeah, she worked with young Kishibe when he looked
Yeah.
like Yoshida. And she's also referred to as the first devil hunter. So, and
that's right, yeah.
we've been given one cool bit of information from this chunk of chapters is we've finally been given what her hybrid is, and she's the bow devil.
Yeah, that was thing because she was always just called like crossbow devil sometimes, and
I think they never referred to her by her weapon name before.
Oh, interesting. Because yeah, I just remember she like removed the arrow from her eyeball.
Yeah,
right?
it was clear that she had some sort of bow, but what some people were suggesting that she might be the hunter devil, or she might be the crossbow devil, or
yeah.
there was never a concrete thing. Now we know it's the bow devil.
well, she could be
And it's so interesting. Her like actual fighting is never with her like it's like rare for her to go into her devil mode. Like we only saw
she's
that
a
one
big
time.
Katana devil fan.
So I wonder if so humans clearly are capable of like insane strength like her. Who knows what other contracts she may have, but like I'm wondering if we will see like an arc of Chainsaw Man where Denji is literally like getting into fights without going into Chainsaw Man form.
I just like the one moment before they're about to do their their plan, and he's like, "Okay, y'all, let's put out our cigarettes." He's like, "You're the only one smoking."
Yeah, no, I love that because it again reinforces that these guys are not a coherent unit.
They're all just like losers, all like
And like I feel like every 5 chapters there's like one standout moment that I always fucking love so much. And for me it's when Quanxi like as the clock hits like exactly 5 slices off like all their arms and the girl's head, and she's literally saying it's showtime as her head is like flying through the air. I love that so much.
Just the faces on both of them in this fucking 2-page where like Spear doesn't even realize what's happened yet, and she's just it's cool to see that Quanxi did target their trigger points. She cut off Spear's arm that was gonna pull his spine out. I guess that's his trigger. What a fucking weirdo.
Sure.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I guess that must be what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then she's cutting off the hand for the Whip Devil. That when she snaps, it activates the transformation. She just missed Miri's here, his hand, I guess. Got his leg though. Also, them making mention of like target the limbs so they know that so the pain is immediate. Quanxi then cuts off their limbs.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Also, too, I feel like we can't step over how like brutal and evil these characters are. They're like talking about like so flippantly talking about just like murdering women and children first because their screams are the loudest. Like,
and make sure to cut off their limbs so the loss is apparent.
Yeah.
Or is immediately apparent.
And the sword was the only one kind of like hesitating at first as well. So like he's not like as evil as the other ones, but still
he's definitely being set up to have some kind of like moment later on.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna have some sort of redemption or some sort of transformation. He may be manipulated later on by death when we get to that, but
oh god.
I do like the addressing the fact that kind of like with Katana, which now that I think about it, it does feel like a mixture of International Assassins and the Katana arc. Because much like with Katana, how Longsword's trigger is pulling off his arm, it also healed all of his injuries. As you can see, his head's about to fall off, he lost his leg. But when he pulls the arm off, just like how when you pull off it, or you activate any of the hybrid triggers, they immediately regenerate. And he's standing perfectly fine in the next panel.
And then in the next panel, he's totally fine. Which is just great. Like, I just love, like, how he handles, like, the escalation, de-escalation, escalation again. Like, it's just so fucking funny. And, just Quanxi, I'm just so happy she's back. I love her.
On page 11, is Quanxi's, like choker, like, this gone? And then this is back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, wow. okay.
Listen,
I do like her new
it's the magic of Fujimoto, the disappearing accessories.
I do love her design in this. I love her.
Yeah, her new eye patch is very cool.
Very unique eye patch. I love it. It's great to see her.
And then her first spoken line.
Rar.
Rar.
Just incredible.
This whole
She's
this
just
whole
wonderful.
arc chapter we read are just like stuff I'm excited to see animated, to see what they just do with it.
Also, man, not to go back to Jujutsu Kaisen again, but I don't know if you guys were aware of what occurred during the same week that this chapter came out. But goddamn, for people who know, it's hilarious.
I've seen some there's I guess volume trailers or whatever that animated a couple manga panels, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Something happened in Jujutsu Kaisen right as this happened in Chainsaw Man, and it was a divine trade, some would call it.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I can't wait for 5 years when I finally see that episode of the anime, and you can DM me and be like, "This is what happened."
Or be like, what? What are you talking about?
On this very day, in this Chainsaw Man issue.
Yeah.
So we do cut back and to like a broadcast that's saying that there's like kind of like gunman terrorist activities, things that YouTube loves to censor you for when you say them out loud. And we cut to the funny kind of like what do you call that? Like an imbalance of information, I guess, with the people at the Chainsaw Man Church, where the fake pseudo Chainsaw Man guy, the fake Chainsaw Man guy,
You're
and
big
also
on the pseudo word.
yeah, the pseudo. It's a good word. And our new version of what's her face, Himeno's possible brother, seemed to be totally unaware.
Hey, Kobeni.
Oh, sorry, Kobeni. I always mix them up.
Pseudo Kobeni.
Pseudo Kobeni. Kobeni's little brother. They
big month for pseudo.
They both seem unaware that there is like a humongous stockpile of weapons
Jim, this whole month
in their
has been
basement or whatever.
It's been a big month for pseudo. We had like pseudo Paco from JoJo Land.
We did have a pseudo Paco, pseudo Ghetto, of course.
The original pseudo.
But so this older guy seems to be
Get the guns.
Yeah, he's the one that's like aware of it, and the next chapter they all start fucking grabbing the guns, and
just like any
boy
cult,
Benny's like, wait, we have this many guns.
Like literally cult 101. We're like, oh, we're a religious cult, but we also just stockpiled a bunch of guns. Very much like cult mentality or cult behavior.
It's crazy how solid the cult setup for the Chainsaw Man Church was. I feel like there's an element of this because of it. I'll get more into it later when they describe more about how the church here works, but there is a lot of how Japanese cults seem to function baked into how this was written, and I think it's very interesting.
I walk by the Tokyo brand Scientology building.
Oh no!
Took a picture of it. Did what's it called, Dynastics or like Japanese version in the front?
What's it called? Dianetics?
I don't know.
Something
whatever.
like that.
I know like Japan also had like another science cult that I just know about because
the
Happy Science Cult, I think they're called.
I don't know.
I think it's something like the Happy Science. It's the one that inspired the guy who codenamed Kids Next Door Shinzo Abe.
And I know because I'm watching Kamen Rider 4 that the main like female lead.
Oh no, not her!
And it's like, why is she just never in anything again after?
Hey, she's allowed to be in things funded by that cult now.
They also made a bunch of anime too.
Just like John Travolta was able to go in Battlefield Earth.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went on the Wikipedia article for Happy Science, and under the controversy tab it says Happy Science is a cult. Period. And there's literally 7 fucking citations after that one sentence.
Big if true.
Okay, but yeah, so I really do love the cult aspect. It's very so I guess we're like ultimately we can pull back and say that Fami is the one that is kind of organizing these because as we learn, unless I'm wrong, am I wrong about that?
I believe she has a connection to it, but she may not have she seems to be pulling the strings from the background. I believe they make mention of that, like Fabi knows how to find dedicated people. She definitely gathered the weapons together, but it seems like this is a multi-branch, like multi-level marketing pyramid scheme cult.
There's so many cults that Fujimoto could have just like taken aspects from multiple different ones.
Oh yeah.
That like I'm curious to see which one he probably took the most from. It could have been like Heaven's Gate or like Scientology itself, or some of the science cults that are in Japan.
I forget the name of the one that did the sarin gas attack in
Oh yeah,
Japan.
yeah.
Damn.
And I also believe that
I'm sure.
I-
That's his name. The guy, the cult leader. I don't know.
I believe this also has connections to the the Unification Church. Given an element of that was brought up later on with how they do their mass weddings.
We could have just solved all these cult problems if we just launched a nail fiend like a pinball through a window and just solve all the problems.
God, you have no idea how refreshing it was to see a new fiend, not tied to anyone. Oh man, the nail fiend is so good.
I love this character so much.
Also
This design is incredible.
The image of Bro Benny like holding an AK, like just at you, like at the reader.
At you.
Yeah, but the personality, I was like, it's like I know the joke is just like Nobara just disappeared from Jujutsu Kaisen, so like every other manga is just filling it in for the author.
Fujimoto did really like Nobara. He is the only character from Jujutsu Kaisen he has drawn of his free will.
That's very funny.
He's like, you like Thanos, I'm gonna do it myself.
So this character does have kind of an androgynous look. It looks more feminine to me, but I don't think we ever see like.
I hope they get Nobara's voice actress to like voice this character when the anime eventually gets to this.
This is great. Like, this character has so many fucking nail. I guess you said the nail fiend.
Yeah.
There's so many
Fiend's neighbor
hilarious
moved
little
away, too.
panels. Her neighbor moved away. But I just love the
Her fighting
it's
style.
it's like a fucking like almost like a joke fighting style of just like nailing someone to the wall.
This
And
kick.
so one thing I love about this too is that it's the obvious joke. Like, it seems like she's doing this like non-lethally. Like, it seems like
Well-
she's being very careful not to hurt any kids when she's nailing to the wall. But then she just fucking kills a child. Like, I'm counting this as a kill. Like, he looks like he's fucking
I'm pretty
dead.
sure he's dead. Like,
Oh yeah. His brains are
for
like,
for literally just not speaking politely, saying yeah, sure, is what he said.
it captures the perfect level of like, man, Division 4 is kind of fucked when you think about it. You just sent a bloodthirsty maniac piloting a corpse into a room of children.
I think, well, maybe everybody loved Beam, but like he also killed a lot of people only because of Denji that he was able to be controlled. Really.
You know, I think the response being so quick, swift, and like to the point is almost like a play on the initial like response to the Gun Devil attack, where because they are raiding a facility again, just like they did in the Gun Devil arc. But this time, like, there's no zombies in there, so you can't just haphazardly throw a bunch of fiends in there, so you have to be a little bit more strategic with it. And obviously, the other thing that re-ties this back to the Katana Devil, this whole thing is, well, the boy!
First, but just I'm looking at the action scenes of like the nail fiend kicking somebody, and it's like the most like strangest kick I've ever seen because they have like kicking him and like having a knee to going down. Like I need to see this animated to see like how this like movement works.
So I don't know if this is like controversial or not, and like I never come to Chainsaw Man for the fights, but a lot of like these scenes and the scenes with Quanxi, the way that Fujimoto like does an action shot with like the limbs, I think often looks a little weird. It looks like the pose isn't quite right. And I know for Quanxi, a lot of times it's like, oh, her arm is literally like broken, or like, oh, her leg like snapped in half. But like some of these shots, like just look a little awkward to me.
It's like the John
the
Lennon
posing.
walk, but instead of walking, he's kicking somebody, but in the same like way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really like complaining too much, but it's just like if I had to like put like a minor complaint. But again, like I don't come to Chainsaw Man for the fights. I enjoy them when they happen.
But also just really showing, I guess, like the nail fiend is like a corpse because it just moves that way, where it just kind of it's very like.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Moves that way, like it's freaky.
Yeah,
but
then yeah, as you said, my boy, fucking Katana Man. Well, actually, before Katana
the
Man,
Justice Devil.
Well,
yeah,
someone who
so-
becomes a Justice Devil incarnate.
At the time,
Yeah.
the Justice Devil.
And he was like the old guy who seemed to be kind of, I guess, the leader of this sect of the church.
And his weird high heel legs.
Very funny, because later on they say that like the Justice Devil allegedly gives you like the form that you want to take. So this guy like wanted to look like this.
Oh my god.
It even has like a tail, but it's actually a foot. This is a really good like grotesque design. I really like how quickly it dies too. But no, like, so I was just complaining about like I don't love some of the posing of the nail fiend, but then like the Katana Man spread at the end looks incredible. Like this is exactly the boy that I fucking love so much.
It's so interesting to see him back and part of the group. I'm curious to see the type of personality he's going to have going forward. All we know is he fucking hates Chainsaw Man.
He's a guy who has a very specific trigger, and that trigger is now literally everywhere across the world.
He's gonna have a really good like afternoon.
God.
It's like
how many times do you think he's had nightmares just like the events later on?
He's like, okay, we got a sleeper agent, and they will just murder somebody when they see a picture of Chainsaw Man. But unfortunately, everybody is Chainsaw Man, so everybody's going to die.
Also, one other thing I want to point out that I think is pretty neat. So the way that we are reintroduced to Katana Man, it's like a black silhouetted panel of just his mouth saying "Justice?" ? Which to me reminds me a lot of like the just mouths like blacked out silhouette panels of when Aki was using the curse nail against him.
Yeah, no,
and it would like save like one, like it was just like a mouth, and like so I think that's a deliberate callback to his first appearance.
There's definitely a lot of the Katana Man arc baked into this whole section.
But
he's so I just like love his design so much. It for some reason it resonates with me so strongly. I think it's like so evil and so cool. I kind of
think like maybe like almost all the people that were like under the control, other than like Quanxi, because I guess she's built differently, just kind of like lost their minds a little bit, maybe.
Well, they know what Makima did to them, at least according to Mirai or Miri.
Like a lot of them broke, I guess. Like mentally, because like other than like Longsword and like Quanxi are like everybody else is just completely like messed up in a way. But then again, we don't know these characters beforehand, so
it would be interesting to get more like of their perspective, because they are absolutely getting captured.
If anything, we'll get like Sword Devil. If anything, that's it. Just to have a shot of Katana Man and like Sword Devil team up or something.
Oh, that'd be cool if they squared off for like a minute.
Get destroyed.
All I know is that I have been dealing with the 5 stages of grief, as Reze seems so far away from ever appearing again.
She's like that one character that I feel like he's really waiting for like the right moment to drop her back in.
I can't wait. You'll hear me from space.
I'll know when it happens, because at work I'll be working and then I'll hear you scream from like
and then you'll check Twitter and I'll have posted 30 fucking tweets about it.
It's gonna go like this, where we see like somebody say like, a speech bubble from like you don't know who says off panel, then a head rolls in and blows up. And then it's saying, "Kept you waiting, huh?" And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be your introduction, and Denji's harem will all come together.
Oh God, Denji's harem
his seven
his
evil
sister.
Exes. His seven evil exes.
His sister, a loser, a terrible bodyguard, and the bomb devil, the most confident of them all.
The ghost of
his dinner.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
The ghost of Himeno, he will come back as well. Like, it's gonna be great. Can't wait to see it.
Okay, so in the next chapter, one of like the coolest little, and this is just me like loving how like detailed the universe is. They talk about there being a devil name consultant, and he's like the guy that can determine. He's like the guy that like is able to classify like the devils, and we see him wearing like a mask, so he's covering his mouth, but his one eye is like sewn shut, and his like kind of the crazy reveal is that big kind of like worm devil thing that Denji was trying to beat, that the falling devil was trying to feed Denji to, was actually the Justice Devil. So we've been lied to this whole time.
It's such a good reveal.
So okay, I'm curious because I was thinking back, like in the first fucking chapter, with the girl that was fucking the teacher, who transformed thanks to the Justice Devil. Do we think that was fire, or like, do you think it's been fire this whole time?
I think it's been fire this whole time.
Because that's what I was thinking. Well, so we haven't got to that part yet, but yeah.
I'm curious about it. If she just sent out, like, she even, like, it was probably all somehow planned by Fami to get.
Well, I mean,
So-
I think.
Did
it
she
started
want
out-
Asa to be the vessel? Like,
I mean, I don't know if she wanted Asa to be the vessel. I think that was just like a happy coincidence.
I guess so.
Because I don't think War and Fabi are working together until they make like the statement, like, "Hey, I'm trying to build up strength."
Or maybe Fami just sent out a random devil to kill somebody, so War would like attack. I guess.
Well, I mean, this starts off
Combined.
small because if we go back to the first chapter, we're only the Chainsaw Man fan club, or the first meeting of the Chainsaw Man fan club, which then becomes the fan club at school, which then evolves into the church, which then evolves into a global phenomenon.
Yeah, multiple branches.
Like, it's the basis of how cults kind of start, with like a small meeting that then grows and grows, and you gather more people together.
How all cults start, with a mean high school girl.
A mean high school girl with enough energy.
God, But also, yeah, Asa is going to be, I guess, taken out or captured.
Yeah, they want to capture. I like that this shows that, like, public safety isn't out of the loop. They not only do they know who Asa's devil contract is, but they know that Asa has a devil contract, and that it's just such an interesting level of, like, the information that they've been keeping. Though
Yoshida was obviously spying on her, like, obviously. To, like,
oh yeah, definitely. Like, we don't even know
her handler.
Like,
I guess.
I'm not. You know, with the way that Fumiko is like a 21-year-old pretending to be a high schooler, I'm almost certain Yoshida is not a high schooler.
Oh,
There's no fucking way he's like a 17-year-old kid. Like, the fact that what makes me think that is like the dialogue between him and Kishime back when he was like, "Don't you have finals soon?" feels like they were building up to the fact that he would be going to a high school undercover.
This is how I know that Fujimoto loves movies, because in, like, you know, movies from like the early 2000s and back, that was the age of high schoolers actors would be.
That's just how it always is. High schoolers are always played by like 30-year-olds in America.
Yeah, the Power Rangers were like 21-year-olds.
But
that's so funny. They were just held back a few years.
But yeah, Asa gets a knock on the door. FBI, open up. And I love she does the room 606 weapon, or once that's her aim. And I love, like, the whole panel with, like, the door bursting and how quick Yoshida is.
Oh yeah, there's a lot about, like, this setup that I've enjoyed quite a lot. I like that Asa has a backup plan of some sort. Like, she's been prepared for this type of situation, and just looking at where Asa is now to where she was at the beginning of the series,
yes,
she has changed, and I'm glad that, like, they call mention of that.
Also, is that Yoshida had, like, the Demon Slayer sword swing effect, but with a tentacle instead of, like...
Well, I think that's because the Octopus Devil bursted open the door and he dashed in.
I know, but it just looks like that's like he did a slash attack. It was just like the Demon Slayer with tentacle.
Octopus breathing first form, fuck you.
Yeah.
Also, I do have to say, like...
Fisherman's wife.
He should have named his move.
I am happy that the story's expanded out more, but I miss Yoru so much. Like, this little bit where Yoru is like, "You become pretty wild compared to when we first met." I just love Yoru so much.
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait for her to really get to go wild, especially after the big W she's been receiving. Man, it's been the last couple chapters. It's been a good day to be a Yoru Asa fan. Well, I mean, except for immediately after, where she gets her arm cut off.
She'll get a new arm. She'll have like a, what do they call it, like Captain Kid in One Piece, who just has like a giant metal arm instead.
I wonder if she has regeneration factors.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I feel like this is more of a... I mean, I also predicted that Asa wasn't going to be an important character in chapter 1, but I feel like this could be this could be a thing
Big-
where she won't grow the arm back, at least not
I mean,
immediately.
Yeah, because Makima, regenerated, but like this is like a weird like hybrid between
Makima
human,
had-
human
Well, I
and
mean,
devil.
yeah, Makima.
Makima had a contact, or she had a contract with like every Japanese citizen, or no, was it every American citizen or
It
something
was
stupid?
the Japanese citizen. She made a contract.
It was
with,
Japanese,
the Prime
yeah.
Minister.
So yeah, whenever she like died or got hurt, she was like, it was a life for a life. Like she got her life back for one of their lives.
But
Yeah.
I guess she could regenerate no matter like if anything got like cut off. So like
She was
oh,
also
yeah.
a devil. Like
Yeah.
Makima was a devil. Asa isn't a full devil. She's like a pseudo fiend, since that's the word we seem to like so much.
Oh,
to
yeah.
say.
I love it. Yeah, pseudo fiend. Let's make it catch on.
But yeah, she lost an arm. She'll get the league of getting a robot arm. Like she'll be like Nero, where she'll be like Captain Kid in One Piece.
Like
Oh
Nami.
man, she'll be just like Nero. Then like she's like, I didn't realize I had a family, and then grow her arm back to save Denji.
I'm just thinking like family is like saying like or death being like Virgil on a chair, like on a plastic chair, just turning around slowly. Oh, that'd be so good.
And
Also, this chapter does end with the fucking hilarious flamethrower being like, "I just want to watch the sunset," and then singing
Kumbaya,
"Kumbaya, my lord,
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya."
I wish one of the other like guys there just booed him. Like, come on, man, how cliche can you be?
I also
it is
do
like,
like
hilarious how they like the song like goes over Asa getting her arm chopped off. I love
I
that.
can't
Also-
wait to see that in the fucking anime, especially
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
again, it reminds me of the fucking like the choir to the angels from kicking Katana in the nuts.
If she didn't get like launched away, I would have loved if she picked up her own arm and used it as a weapon or like as a robot
Oh.
arm.
Oh, that'd be a
Like
cool
a Liza
thing.
P robot arm that just shoots like a missile or like a grappling hook.
I like that Yoshida, again, harkening back to what I said earlier, looks a lot like young Kishibe here. Like, you put him in the Devil Hunter
yeah.
suit, and you give him the katana, he looks very close. They have both had the earrings, they're both baby Mad Mikkelsen, they're,
That's actually Aki's old katana.
oh my god.
holster.
Is he using an angel blade? My god.
Can you imagine if he actually like got that? I mean, Aki's not gonna use it anymore.
I also just want to reiterate how cool it is to me that he had such a, from being octopus guy to like, he's like such an important minor character in part 2. It's so cool.
I've been kind of mixed on Yoshida. I'm glad that he's been more important, but he's definitely like every time he's done something, it has been counterbalanced in some regard. He has
That's
become
true.
sort of like he's the intercontinental champion of fucking Chainsaw Man. He exists entirely to get jobbed out by someone else and be like, "Oh my god, they're strong."
And also- or just like get completely beaten by their promo or like their talk with him, where he just completely is just like flabbergasted by how stupid everybody is. That he's like speechless. And and then we get the reveal that the devil is not justice and is actually fire.
The Fire Devil. A confusing decision at first, but then you think about all the stories associated with fire and how it gives a man, like, the ability to do anything. Like, we can tie just about everything. It's man's greatest invention or discovery, depending on how you want to put it. And we can tie it back to the foundation of just about everything. As without fire, you can't make computers. Like, no matter how you go down the branch, you need fire at some point.
That is true, and it really is kind of going back to like, I really like thinking about like how old these fears would be too. Like, primal man would have like this immense like instinctual fear of fire. This instinctual fear of like darkness. Like, these things are, it's one of those things like you hear it in like creepypastas, how like these are like so embedded, these fears are so deep in like our reptile brain that like they've just been around forever.
Yeah, fire is such a fundamental thing, and like you could even look at it in like mythological senses as like when Prometheus brought fire to man, it changed him irreparably. He became on par with gods in some regard. And so the fact that this fire allows people to morph and change into the form that they want, they're literally being forged or molded into that form, but also bringing what is their god onto the general populace, they become Chainsaw Man.
It really looks like it's like spreading, like it's spreading all over. Too.
Oh yeah, and also
yeah, like fire.
Yeah,
fire's scary.
Which also, and one thing too, not to keep like fixating on this, but I love like fire, especially when you're like young. Even like, I mean, at my current age, like fire like draws you in. Like it's like going back to the like instinctual like reptile brain thing. Like whenever there's a fire, like you want to get near it. Like that's why kids like touch stoves.
I was always afraid of fire.
Really? Oh, you're like the Hound from Game of Thrones.
I don't know that reference for sure. I just
the Hound. When he was a baby, his brother shoved his face in a hot fire.
Like for me, fire has always been like one of the most fascinating key sections of just humanity as a whole. Like I've always like knocked around the idea of just a video on fire as a whole, because like
oh my god, please do that. I love that.
Because like just looking at it from most fiction, it's one of the most important things, and we've tied it to so many things. Like this really came on when I watched Pro Bear for the first time, because man, is fire such a key part of that, as both a destroyer, a uniter, a burning passion, a burning hatred. Like fire is our like ultimate tool, and we apply it to everything.
Well, I think like one of those popular powers in like any kind of media is literally fire power.
Yeah, fire is like you can do just about anything with fire. It's why it's one of the four, like the core 4 to 5 elements depending on which culture you go into.
Yeah.
Also, Chainsaw Man versus Shark the movie on page 6. Chainsaw.
What? Oh my god! I didn't even notice that.
I was like, and then I'll lead into this. Also, the Fujimotor calendar.
Damn, they got sci-fi original
Chainsaw
movies.
Man versus Shark.
It's like those like Tubi movies where like Chainsaw Man just becomes like the word that everybody has used to make a movie.
But yeah, I
he's
think
like public domain.
it's in almost all of the panels of people turning into Chainsaw Man creatures. If you look around, there's something there's like a Chainsaw Man fan club poster on the background. Anywhere where Chainsaw Man, the idea is spreading like a fire and turning people into Chainsaw Man. And so like the fire symbolism spreading like a fire is, I believe, entirely intentional.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
It's such a good, like, scary thing that is happening.
God.
I also love like the kind of recontextualization of like the chainsaw coming out of your head, because like what it really looks like it's doing to these people is like destroying their brain, which it essentially is. Like it's just turning them into a mindless
most of them would lose
monster.
control of themselves, but also the nightmare scenario for the kids, or maybe like the dream scenario. He gets to kill
his wet dream.
I was gonna say this is like his all he wanted was to kill Chainsaw Man because it triggers him and sets him off. Look, he's ready to hug them all, like Chainsaw Man, like hey. I also so no Bro Benny in there, so there's a chance Bro Benny is still alive. He's gonna run to his sister.
Yes,
at the burger place.
I was never really. I just wanted to look cool in front of the cult. I wanted to get married. I was never a true believer.
I'm just gonna go.
Oh yeah, so it is this chapter. It's funny how they bring the marriage thing back in.
Yeah.
Because so I think it was in the last chapter they discussed that there were like within Japan there were 4 different like Chainsaw Man churches that they raided, but even though they raided all the ones in Japan, there were still Chainsaw Man churches in China and Canada.
Thanks, Canada.
Which apparently, and so they all had like wedding ceremonies planned as part of this contract, which is brilliant.
Yes,
over 350,000 humans.
So this
yeah.
is something that some cults do a lot, and it's the reason I mentioned the Unification Church earlier. If you don't know, that was the thing that inspired the Shinzo Abe incident. Like you can tie it all back to them. There is a key part of that essentially a cult, so technically classified as a church, but I think it's been disbanded now in Japan. But it was a Korean cult that moved to Japan, and then I believe there's factions in America. I know the founder of it made the Washington Post.
Oh, excuse me. Wait, is this the Moonies? Is that what the Moonies
I believe it's the
Okay.
Unification Church is an offshoot of the Moonies, and one of the main things about that cult was mass weddings, and so I think that given its tie to its given its tie to a major tie to Japan, given what happened because of them, I think they might have been one of the biggest inspirations for the Chainsaw Man cult in Chainsaw Man.
Oh, this makes so much sense. Okay, I literally looked up Moonies, and the first thing was just hundreds of men and women getting married.
Let me see. Oh my god.
It's really disturbing.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking weird story. Like that whole incident opened a big bag of worms, and I think almost everyone regarding it went, you know what, fair.
Oh my god.
I think the current not current at the time, this was maybe in 2018, the Prime Minister of Korea was actually outed as being part of it and had to step down.
This picture looks like somebody did a stunt to get a Guinness World Record for the most people married at one time.
Literally.
Oh my god.
You know.
Also, in the one page, Devil Hunter Association has the job out. There they are, dead on the ground.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that bald guy must get back up later, given the other bald guy.
But yeah, so chainsaw devils are everywhere, I guess.
And
also this is where they drop
a Chainsaw Man war on the world, so we're building up Chainsaw Man and war.
Yeah, it's all according to Fami's plan.
Which they elucidate. So what'd you say? Flamethrower is Barum, whatever his name is. Flamethrower basically, it's kind of funny. I love this scene, the turnaround where he's still handcuffed, but he has the upper hand here because all the Chainsaw Man zombies. And he says that in half a year there's gonna be essentially that's when the Death Devil's gonna come.
It's so much time.
Which technically not, because this is mostly a joke because we only knew it was 1997 in part 1 because of much later in the story. But Akane was wearing 1997 shoes at the time, but just like with that, we now have a time frame. We're at the ass end of 1998.
Ah.
Because or maybe the asset or early beginning of 1999, because remember we have the I forget the exact date, but we have Nostradamus' prediction of when the King of Terror will arrive, which is based on the 1999 prediction, because 1999 is 666 upside down or whatever. I think that was which movie was that?
I do not know.
I think it has something to do with one of those Keanu Reeves, his name's not Preacher. What is it called? With
Constantine?
Constantine.
Oh, Constantine.
Yes, I think it has something to relate to Constantine because I'm pretty sure they had that prediction in there. And Fujimoto has already used Constantine references before we even saw one in the anime. And I'm pretty sure that's Keanu Reeves' favorite role he's ever played.
Yeah, he wanted to do a sequel one, even though the movies
that's
really
so
don't do anything with the comics too much.
He loved playing John Constantine.
Yeah, they're doing a sequel to it, but
I never, as someone who's read a bunch of the comics, I never cared for Constantine too much. I read the good shit too. I read the good eras.
I remember really liking the NBC Constantine show that got canceled after one season. But
I don't know, because I read that at the same time I read Sandman, and I was just so overwhelmed by how great Sandman was.
There's a good and bad way to write John Constantine, and just writing him as a complete asshole is the best way of just him betraying any friend that he would have.
Yeah, he's a self-destructive kind of alcoholic guy.
He's a great character.
I do love a hero that smokes too.
Yeah, I mean, he smokes heavily because he's already sold his soul.
Doesn't he have his soul sold to multiple things at once, so nothing can come and claim it?
Die because no one can claim because they all have to fight each other. But yeah, speaking.
Also, I do want to say for a second, Nostradamus. I recently learned about Nostradamus. Very fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, no, it's a really fun.
That whole thing is completely.
It's a fun
fake.
literary formula. Nostradamus was a dipshit fucking space wizard who got everything wrong and was a total fuck up in his entire life.
I'm still waiting for him to fight in Records of Ragnarok. So.
I forgot he was in
that.
The
next matchup is already good. It's already got it down. So.
I think you can literally track. there's a really good podcast I listen to called If Books Could Kill, and they talk about like bad books. And there's apparently a book that came out in the 70s, I think, that was called like The Prophecies of Nostradamus, that was turned into like a TV movie. And like literally all of the like, Nostradamus prediction stuff stems from like that fucking book.
Oh yeah, no.
It's just
and
like some random like fiction book some guy wrote.
Because a lot of Nostradamus' predictions are incomprehensible garbage that you need to reword in your own ways. Because like almost anyone who knows,
and they're translated too. I mean, you're already translating. You're abstracting them into. You're abstracting
them and changing things around. Like I remember there was like people talking about Nostradamus' prediction, going like, "All right, now you take this date and you change this number and you get this thing." It's like, you're fucking insane. What are you doing? And like the most famous Nostradamus prediction is like 2 metal birds will crash into the new city, and the read is like, that was 9/11. Oh my god! It's like, bro, like you had to interpolate like half of that to get to that point because it's a passage that's 8 times longer than the fucking segments you cut out.
Oh, okay. So I looked it up really quick. So according to one of the supposed prophecies, in 1999 and 7 months, a great and terrifying leader would come out of the sky. So that must be the...
how many
they're doing that one
literal. Attached to that statement?
How many qualifying?
Yeah,
because I think it's stupid. Whatever. Yeah, we can't go down a Nostradamus rabbit hole.
Yeah, just know that Nostradamus is a really cool plot like element, and I think Japan fucking loves like that type of stuff. So you'll see Nostradamus a lot in like Japanese works and American works because like American loves their fucking
Mayan calendar,
calendar,
and Y2K,
pseudo Christian mythology, like destruction.
Rapture. Oh, we're big on the rapture here.
Yeah, any sort of prophecy is always one of those. It's. I mean, you see it all the time in fiction.
I think
prophecies everywhere.
When I was in private school, I think we had to watch that Rapture movie. Well, like how?
Oh my God, were you Sam? When you were a baby child, did you think the rapture was real?
No.
Okay. Because like I've read.
I think this is wild, but like this is not gonna happen.
Because I've read a lot of stories about people who grew up believing that, like people who were like indoctrinated in that church. Well, those churches, and it's a couple different beliefs that really stress the rapture, and they would say like, "Oh, I got home early one day from school, and I thought the rapture happened because my parents weren't home yet," and it was like traumatizing for kids. Like I just think about how traumatizing that must have been for so many kids out there.
I don't know. The movie was just like from like the 80s or whatever. It was just like really bad.
It's called Lost.
God, was it called Lost? Or,
no, Lost is the TV
Behind.
show.
It was called I think it's called Left Behind.
Left Behind.
Oh yeah, Left. No, I mean Left Behind is very much a rapture
story. That's from 2014.
It was a movie from.
It was not when you were a child. That was from 2014. Oh, but it's based on a 1995 novel, but you probably didn't read that. But that is, I know Left Behind the novel was like there was traumatizing for a lot of people.
About the rapture that we watched. And
I think Stephen King did a rapture story once.
Probably, but yeah, we had to watch that stuff among many other. When I slept, when it wasn't VeggieTales, I slept.
Real.
I think it was just called. There was a movie called The Rapture.
It could have been called. It was probably. I don't know.
It was called The Rapture from 1991.
They wheeled in the big CRT with the VHS.
With the strap on it, so don't kill no kid.
I think they showed me that in like 3rd grade, or probably
the first strap-on I ever saw.
Because everything before that was just Bible stories via VeggieTales or some shit.
Hell yeah!
So,
but anyways, the Great King of Terror will descend upon the world in half a year.
Well, that girl's a witch.
And then she's gonna make every. So we learn, and what I like too is how Nayuta kind of takes over the narration here. And explains to Denji, like, basically what Fami's plan is. It's kind of a cool, like, mask off moment for her, because this whole time we've known that there's something, like, strange about her, but this is where she's really, like... this is where she really is like, oh, yeah, no, I know exactly what's going on. And, like, it's kind of a good thing.
It wasn't her using her powers to get free food at lunch?
I do like that.
That was funny.
While she is still, like... I was really worried that she was going to, like, mask off, snap right back into Makima, but the way she explains things feels still like she's her own person who just has the knowledge of some of her past life. where
and she also feels like a kid.
Yeah,
like she feels like naive.
saying things
in
like
that way
the
that,
super
like, a kid
duper
does.
strongest devil of all time. She's the fucking best. She is my hands down favorite element of part 2. Nayuta, the way Fujimoto has been able to handle her has been my absolute favorite, and I love the Nayuta the prophecy fucking reference in the next chapter. Oh, it's so good.
It's awesome. It's so cool too, because like, not only it's not that we just like brought Makima back, like it's doing something completely different with that same like devil, that same instinct of control.
It's paying off the buildup of Denji and Makima's relationship throughout all of part 1 in the best way I could have hoped for, where they feel like they're a family more now than when there was a weird sexual tension between them.
Mm-hmm.
And
this like strong power dynamic over it.
It feels like they are closer now than they ever could have been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we kind of get in the next chapter. We get like a chase sequence essentially after he sicks the chainsaw devils. Then we have the Quanxi chase scene, which I'm dying to see this animated the most.
Oh man,
this part is very
the
funny.
Quanxi jumping in, grabbing everyone, and jumping away. Oh, it's so good. But
her butt dropped.
My absolute favorite part of it though is
the bite.
The bite.
The bite of 87.
The bite of
97. The bite of 97.
The bite of 97. But it's such a smart because at first you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. She's taking a bite out of Fumiko.
Fumiko.
You're wearing some midriff. You're looking good in your design. Oh wait, so she can just bite.
It's so funny.
Taking a bite out of Fumiko and then landing, and she just fucking obliterates her legs. But
yeah, I love
the
that.
reason she does the bite is so that she can then the sound effect is a swallow gulping sound. So she inserted some blood, immediately regenerates, and gets right back up to start killing again.
Oh.
It's so fucking. Fujimoto plays with his hybrid's regeneration in the best way.
I hate that, like, I know it's Japanese, but I hate that the gulp sound effect is written so tiny in English. I didn't even notice that when I read this.
It also kind of blends in with, like, the background, too, on some of them, where you can't tell.
They should have made it white. Why didn't they make it, like, white? Like the kanji is. Or what is it? Hiragana. That's fucking awesome. As I said, I love her.
And then Flamethrower says, this is, like, one of my Japanese animes.
And then Quanxi has the biggest ass in the world.
Yeah, but Flamethrower literally does like the Japanese anime like line.
Yeah, then
he's like a manga character.
And then in the opposite direction, Fujimoto, you gotta cut it with this corny shit. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of you mentioning this every fucking second. This part, like, you did it once in part 1.
Yeah, it's too much.
When he calls Aki cringy because of his revenge story, but like I think 4 characters has been like, we're not like an evil organization in a manga. Wow, she's like a manga character come to real life, and he keeps doing it, and I'm like, you gotta cut this out, man. I'm fucking
wow. Hashtag
I agree. It's
girl
a little too much.
This one guy, like, he showed this one devil hunter with a katana, just like fighting nonstop.
Dude's putting in the fucking work. He's the real hero of the devil hunter community.
There's also like a mantis, there's also like this mantis legs. Just,
I'm trying to figure that out. What is that, like a devil hunter power? Do you think?
We've seen this a couple times.
Yeah.
Most of the public safety used it all the way back when Power betrayed Makima. Is like the first thing that they attacked her with. They used it back when Justice went crazy on the school. But those guys immediately got fucking smashed to death.
I think when Aki goes to get like a new devil contract, they mention how like most of them have like a contract with like the Mantis Devil or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's like a throwaway line like that.
It's like it basically allows them to summon a big praying mantis arm from the ground and stab things.
That's all you get. I got a cool wolf head. I got a mantis arm. And then and then we kind of just see them burning the bodies, and then Denji gets like pointed at.
Another thing. Not to tie too back into the like fire is a key part of humanity, but them cremating the bodies here reminds me of the other thing that I was thinking about is it reminds me of this terrible movie I saw forever ago, but it's one of the things that really is like stuck with me on like, wow, fire really is like the ultimate like thing that humans have. And it was this movie about like a parasite that was frozen in ice that thaws and is like it's super deadly and like you can't like the humans had no like approach to it. It was like I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like it infects a polar bear, that it spreads, and it's this like horrific thing.
So it's not the thing?
It's not the thing. But
okay, I was gonna say that sounds a lot like the thing.
It's very close to the thing because it's like same with like an Arctic area. But like the one thing that the characters do to stop it is the one thing that works, and it only works for a little bit because they can only do it for so long, but they basically make like the lighter and hairspray like flamethrower and torch it to death, and it just completely kills it because fire is our ultimate tool. It's the only thing that we can kill the thing with. And
it doesn't even kill the thing.
I mean, the fire works a lot on the thing.
It works well,
yeah.
But...
it arguably kills it at the end of the movie. We don't know.
I don't know.
Well, it depends on if you want to consider the comic that
the video game.
Well, I know John Carpenter says the video game is canon. I'm pretty sure he also said the comic book follow-up is canon, which I hate because that comic confirms that Childs is a thing, and I hate that because that shit's stupid.
I didn't even know there was a comic, and I'm going to go right back to believing there is no
It's
comic.
fine.
Thanks, John Carpenter.
Anyways, these pseudo chainsaw men can revive.
This man,
so you gotta burn him. You gotta burn him up.
This man just pointing at Denji, just like this. He's one of them. Like he's just being.
The foreshortening on his arm is really bad.
I was so convinced that this was a character that I'd seen before, and like I started digging, and I could not.
I thought so too. I thought it would have been like one of those guys that just like yelled at him, but
at first I thought it was the homeless man Denji sold cigarettes to, because I was like, he looks so familiar. And I was like, wait, is he the guy from the car that Denji threw during the Bat Devil thing? And it's like, nope. And like I couldn't find anyone that this guy was, but he looks so familiar.
He does. I thought he's just gonna be that one recurring civilian that just like takes whatever bad guy's side to cause like trouble for our heroes.
Actually, speaking of recurring civilians, I forgot to mention this right at the beginning. It might be a chapter or two from now. Let me double check. Yeah, okay, it's the latest chapter, chapter 49. I'll mention it there. But there is a reoccurring civilian, and it was like a nice thing to see, which is why I was like, this old guy's got to be somebody.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he really does look familiar. But one thing he literally does say that Denji is one of the pseudo chainsaw men.
He knows the term.
Which I just love that he calls them pseudo chainsaw men. Like I just love like it's kind of like the whole thing when like people started saying like, oh, Spider-Man, Spider-Men. Like, is it Spider-Mans or Spider-Men? I just think that's a funny like gag.
Spiders,
like,
man. Everything that Fumiko is doing is falling apart at the seams. I feel so bad for her, but like Quanxi taking a bullet for them, like there's a little sad about it because like there were some people complaining like one guy with a gun is enough to stop Quanxi for some reason that she's not attacking him, but it's clear that Fujimoto wanted to do a cool shot because while the handgun like shooting her looks a little awkward, the transition here is fucking great. It's where you really see the cinematography influence on Chainsaw Man, where the blood drips down, the next panel is dripping blood, and we're back to Asa and Yoshida.
Yeah, it's even just like page 6 I think looks great. It's just that one middle frame or the one middle panel on page 5. I just think it's a little awkward how he renders those action shots with the limbs sometimes. It looks a little disconnected, but it's fine. I'm not really complaining.
Also, my favorite.
Oh no, I'm only complaining because I love it so much. That's why I'm complaining.
And
I love shocked Yoshida face.
Also, on page 4 with them running away, I think my favorite thing I mentioned, I talked about it on Twitter when the chapter came out. It looks like Nayuta was running beside them, but Denji scooped her up, so she looks like she's in mid-run with them, and went from like the Y-axis to the X-axis in a second.
That's so true.
God, the Fumi hand is so funny. Like I can't even tell what it.
No, don't look too closely at that.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. It looks like it's melted.
Shit, man,
A strong hand.
How's this shit weekly?
Shriveled up.
Yeah, I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how any of these guys do it weekly. It's kind of
man,
insane.
the Dan guy does fucking insane shit weekly. I have no idea how that happens.
I always wonder how far ahead, like someone like Oda.
It's like
Oda so rarely takes hiatuses. I wonder how long, like far ahead he's got his
when you
work.
get like rapid fire One Punch Man chapters 2, and you're like, what? How, man?
It's like, damn, Miura must have just been like, he must have just had off all week and then just been like, I'm fucking doing it.
But we also cut back to the Yoshida Asa, I guess, fight where you see the shocked Yoshida face, live Yoshida reaction.
And man, there were so many people who I saw misinterpret like everything going on in this scene. Of like,
really?
There were some people who believed that Yoshida was holding back and that he wasn't swinging with intent to kill.
No, it's like the sword's coming out of like the wall,
like the fact that there were some people who believed that he stopped when he went to stab Asa, and that it wasn't her blocking with her hand and like surprising him. And so
yeah, okay.
There was a lot of people misinterpreting Yoshida's character a lot here, and it's very clear that he was going in for the kill. If you look at any of the panels following the scene, like if we took all the scenes with Yoshida and Asa out from earlier chapters and string them together here, we'd get a full sequence of events that plays into him being shocked that she is able to block a katana with her bare hand like this.
Yeah, and she...
Okay, so I guess I misinterpreted it too. Because I was kind of like, oh, is it supposed to be that he's holding back? But I guess no, it's supposed to be that Asa is just becoming strong.
Yeah, Asa is becoming strong on her own. She was also... The other cool thing about this is it makes it so her hand is up blocking the sword and not touching the room. So that when she actually does her transformation,
yes,
they can make mention of the fact that she's able to do so without even touching the object now.
Ah, okay, that makes... yeah.
Also, another nice callback is pain takes Asa out of a panic state, so blocking a sword with her hand so that she can cut it means that she isn't panicking, meaning that she could use Yoru's ability and turn into Yoru. Because that ties back to the Falling Devil when Yoru turned her pinky nail into a dagger and caused her to like actually break out of the panic.
What do you think of her Devil May Cry Room 606 sword with like the fan blade on it?
It's fucking cool. I just fucking love on page 6 or page 10 rather, just like the visual of her room just being completely gone is so fucking cool.
Just her
it's
room.
A great background like
it's
outside
such a
shot.
solid visual. Like Fujimoto like blows it out of the water sometimes.
It's like, and if you zoom in on the sword, you can see like part of like a plant she had in her apartment. It's like on it.
Oh yeah,
see,
the
like,
fan from
the extension cord.
Like, there's so much about the building that's in this weapon. It looks so good.
I love the weapons. I wish we'd seen more weapons, honestly.
Yoru fans, we are thriving. She's finally winning.
Like, the aquarium spear was so cool.
I say that she's finally winning, but she swings it once and flings herself across the fucking room.
And able to hold this giant sword
hilarious.
with one arm, and it's so strong that she like yeets herself.
Yeah, this is the one thing that like I'm a little conflicted on. I can't tell if Yoru was trying to do the dash slash that everyone seems to do in Fujimoto's works, or because her sword is positioned up and then it's down, like it's facing him, like she's holding it up and then she's like down, and I feel like what's happening there is that simple motion was enough to swing her forward with the strength, because when Asa made the school sword, or the school outfit sword, it had a delayed effect just like this. So I think Asa just makes significantly powerful weapons with what she can do, and Yoru is just not able to like figure that out, and that's why she dashes that's why she's like flung forward. Fucking
didn't it? Yeah, the aquarium sphere just shot out sea creatures.
The aquarium sphere was hilarious.
That's fucking wild.
I also loved like the absurdity of like, oh, I can turn like an object into a weapon, like kind of scaling that out to literally like my entire like apartment unit. And it's to the fact that like we can even see like it took the ceiling, but it didn't take like the boards above that. Like, it didn't take any of the frame of it. Only took like her actual apartment. I just love like the strict adherence to like the rules.
It did
reminds me
take
of,
some
like,
of the pipes, so I guess Asa believes she owned the pipes that are going across her apartment.
If it's part of her apartment, then yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like how Hunter x Hunter powers work, where it's almost more of like the user's understanding of their own power rather than like the actual implications of that power.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you could even make a shitty thing when you think it would be strong, like with Chitu's domain. That's the best way I could put
Yes.
it. Where he's like, yeah,
Yeah, basically it's a domain.
you should have given a guaranteed hit, or you should have given it a requirement hit effect. I could just sit here and wait for the time to run out.
If only he'd seen Jujutsu Kaisen, he would have
should have
known.
known.
God, literally Knuckle has like a friggin' Jujutsu Kaisen power.
I mean, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen like is so heavily inspired by Togashi. It's not even funny.
Yeah. I would think, and Asa's like the poster child for the church. She can just probably take the entire church into a weapon.
I think everyone is expecting this to go the way it does, with Asa turning part of Denji or Denji into the chainsaw that she was shown in the promotional image with.
Bucky comes back like in the promotional
art. Bring back the Bucky!
Who the hell is Bucky?
What if Denji becomes Bucky?
Yeah, he becomes a chicken.
That'd be awesome.
I turn myself into a chicken.
It's like that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog where Eustace's head is just on like a roast chicken.
God.
Because like that was how the first or the promotional image of Chainsaw Man is still the final fight between Denji and Makima repurposed. So I'm almost certain that the Asa chainsaw with the Chainsaw Man chainsaw is going to be a thing.
And so I'm guessing also Asa scared away the octopus devil that he had contracted with it. Kind of like
she
what
shredded it!
Yeah. We said she said the cowardly octopus already fled.
I think she was referring to Yoshida. Because Yoshida's gone. Like Yoru flung herself into the wall and Yoshida was like, I'm gonna dip, you know what? It's
because what happened to the fox devil that Aki had, where it just like fucked off.
Oh, if Yoshida lost his octopus contract, man, he's lost everything then.
He's like, what did he have? He has nothing.
I also love her really weird front flip. Because Yoru slams back first into the wall, jumps out, but then rotates to the other side so that she can land properly.
I would love if she just face planted falling down.
Also, she's running around without her shoes
shot,
again.
too.
Which harkens back to when she was complaining to Asa.
Women, aww.
In front of the charred corpse that's just on the middle of the road.
This is a big day for Yoru. I'm real. I'm so happy for her. Now,
also, there is another Chainsaw Man also just around as well. There's technically two different pseudo Chainsaw Man.
There's like hundreds.
I wonder if that pseudo Chainsaw Man who saved Denji was just a generic guy, or if he'll matter actually.
I hope he matters. I'd feel weird if he was just like a...
Yeah, because we still have like the early thing of like her, her friend that she probably still thinks is alive somewhere, being slaughtered. From the first, or one of the early Justice... What's her name? The girl with the glasses?
Yoko?
Yeah. Her getting killed by that Chainsaw Man?
Well, I now know
or a Chainsaw Man?
We now know why she was confused, because the person only kind of looked like Chainsaw Man. But, yo, Street Preacher is back!
I foretold
If you remember, this is the Street Preacher who gave like 1 in 7 the 7 remaining out of 20 people will be killed by devils all the way back in chapter 101.
Oh, wow. It's all connected, Fujimoto. It's like a little small town.
And so yeah, this is like the worst case scenario, and she should just kill all the humans.
I do love how like the goodness of Nayuta kind of shows through still, where she does care about her pets. Like even Denji too. They're like, we should gotta go home and feed the dogs. The dogs are kind of hungry.
Humans are weak sauce compared to devils.
Man, the worst bodyguard in the world. Like, she's like, I'll protect you too, bitch. You haven't been protecting shit. I haven't seen you fucking do anything this entire time.
Does she have a contract with any devil? We all know.
I am
Here we
very
go.
curious
like
what
so
she's going.
Benny, where we just never find out if she actually has like a contract or who with.
I'm hoping that she's like has something in store or some surprise because she's gotta have fucking something.
Or like, don't worry, all the warriors are here to fight the Death Devil and then just die.
Enough to dodge Nayuta's chain though.
Yeah, that was surprising. But unfortunately, there was a civilian right behind her. Like in like a perfect like Resident Evil like or railgun zombie like jump scare.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing I thought of too. I was like, what's this fucking Resident Evil 4 Ganado right here smashing through the window?
It really is like Resident Evil. If only she roundhouse shot him in the knee, and then roundhouse kicked them, or German suplex.
Yo, give me Fumiko, Fumiko in the Leon jacket with like the fucking silver, the silver ghost. Oh, now I
Where's
want
everybody
this.
going? Bingo.
Where's everyone going? Bingo.
But the best way to stop this power is to tickle the user. Why didn't
anyone do this to Makima?
Why did nobody ever do this in any like power like any like in Hunter x Hunter or Jujutsu Kaisen? Why not simply tickle the user to end their domain?
I do like that she is still doing her ugly laugh with the gya instead of just a regular laugh. So she's her own little person. I love fucking Nayuta so much.
If they just simply tickled Gojo, he could be defeated earlier.
Well, yeah, but she can't touch Gojo. Duh.
It's true.
Listen, you can't tickle yourself. That's scientifically proven. And since no one else can touch him, no one can tickle.
Toji could tickle Gojo easily. I would draw. I know 100% fact he could easily be done.
No, Toji could do anything, honestly. That motherfucker could show up at any point in the manga and beat someone and I'd go, yeah, no, fair, clean.
Alright, I'm gonna peace out. My job here is done. I'm gonna keep the sweater, though. Oh, man. But yeah, Fumi runs away, and they're gonna go...
The worst bodyguard in the world!
Just the run.
I really wanted her to peek around the corner after she was gone.
Running away like, I don't know, just the pan of her running away far, it's just so fun. The tired Denji look is very good too. He just needs a rest. I just need to see him not have bags under his eyes. I could just be happy for Denji.
But yeah.
I really love this last conversation they have in the chapter where Nayuta has been getting the bad influence from Fami, where she basically is just saying that it's like the devil's nature to kill humans, and it's interesting too. She's like, you must feel it too, Denji. But then he's got the ties. He has those romantic ties keeping him.
I also like that he doesn't inherently deny the urges, but he also thinks about how much he likes the human side of things. And
it's also funny too that he talks about his friends when really it's not his friends.
He's talking about Asa.
Yeah, he's covering up.
I don't know.
Crush.
He might consider those girls that he pays to be sat on as his friend.
Then we're all really doomed if he does.
Though the final conversation, probably one of Denji's one of the best moments in part 2, talking about the kiss.
I love this so much.
The kiss that it's the only one he's ever had that didn't go horribly wrong afterwards. Or the one time he didn't get hurt afterwards. Yeah,
the fact that he says the one time he didn't get hurt, that is like, Chainsaw Man is so fucking good. Like, it hits you with these great little moments occasionally. Like right after a hilarious scene where Fumiko is running away like a fucking Scooby-Doo character.
I gotta get out of here.
I was thinking like the Hanna-Barbera sound effect. Where
the running whatever that fucking sound effect. I wonder how they made that sound effect.
All this sound effect. But yeah, but then he just I don't know, it's like a nice little moment of just how much do you like her? And then he's like, how much do you like me?
This last 2 pages are just the best fucking. No matter what I can say about part 2, it might have some pacing issues at times. It might have a weaker main cast at the moment because like we don't have anyone like Aki or anyone like. I mean, we kind of have a power. With, Nayuta, but we don't have the same main cast strength that we used to. But like Nayuta and Denji's like relationship is the fucking best. When they being like, "I love you this much," and then her big running hug,
the smugness on her smile.
Yeah, her like that smile is so cute. It's like she's trying not to smile, and then the hug, and then and she tells him mush like he's a fucking dog.
I can only imagine that her voice that like. I can only imagine her sounding like Taiga from Toradora.
I've not seen Toradora.
I think I've seen the girl though.
Your reference means nothing.
All right, fine. Cassandra. I think it's Cassandra Lee Morris, the voice of Morgana from Persona 5.
Okay.
I get very mad just thinking about Morgana from Persona 5.
Well, Cassandra is a wonderful voice actress, and that's the voice I have like in my head for Nayuta because it's the only one that really fits.
But
it's like
Nayuta would let me sleep.
Well, she'd let you sleep if she got to sleep first. You think she would let you sleep if you didn't fucking make her dinner?
Yeah, but not gonna tell me you can't go out there. You're tired, aren't you?
I think she. I mean, until the devil happened, she told her not to. She's been controlling Denji's life. She controls Denji's life about as much as Morgana controls Joker's.
Fucking hate that cat. I replayed Royal not too long ago, and I still hate Morgana. But that's pretty much the end of the chapter, and off we go.
Into chapter 150 in the future.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. It's gonna be probably when this comes out. It'll probably be coming out in a day or so.
Yeah.
Apparently, Fujimoto mentioned watching the new Scott Pilgrim thing, so I'm expecting Reze, Mister.
God, she dyed her hair. Oh my God, this would be fun. And you could say this is funnier if it was in color.
Have you guys watched the new Scott Pilgrim?
I watched 2 episodes,
but I know what it does.
I've watched 2 episodes, but yeah.
It's something all right. I liked it.
I had to get caught up on Invincible and
I'm feeling the same thing I felt during. No, that's a spoiler to say. I don't know if how early does the twist of it happen?
Episode 1.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
1.
So everyone here would know about it. I just want.
Yeah.
It's just like with Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just wanted the fucking product again. I didn't want a twist on it. And I'm not too interested. It'll probably be good. The same way I can find good things about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
It'll probably still be good. But I just wanted the thing because there isn't an adaptation of the original fucking graphic novels.
But they're we need to put Sephiroth in it more. And how do we do that? We just have ghosts.
Well, I mean, the Final Fantasy VII Remake said, it's not a remake, it's a sequel.
I know.
And that just drove me up a fucking wall. But
God.
The Scott Pilgrim thing, I like, okay, I haven't played the new Final Fantasy, but I've played most of the original 7. So I don't really know. But the Scott Pilgrim thing is kind of weird-ish that they didn't really market it. From all the marketing I saw, they only showed stuff from episode 1.
They put a later trailer recently, after a week after, showing what the show actually is about. I heard about it. I didn't watch the trailer. I just heard they actually released an actual what the show is about trailer a week after.
But if you are a guy who is oh, I never read Scott Pilgrim, I like that movie, I'm gonna check this show out
one chat group,
to experience the show. It's gonna be a very strange experience for you.
Our one chat group oh man, I can't wait till we see this character from the comic show up. I can't wait to see what they actually look like and who's gonna voice them. And oh yeah, it's probably not gonna happen now.
Well, yeah.
I won't spoil anything.
That and the fact that there's a character who only appears in the graphic novel and the teaser trailer from Adult Swim for the movie, and they've just never appeared in any other piece.
She's name dropped in the movie. That's all you get.
Was she name dropped in the movie? I don't remember
she's
that.
when Kim names all his exes. Mentions her.
Yeah, I will say the new Scott Pilgrim is not bad, but I don't think I loved it.
I can listen to Chris Evans do the Lucas Lee voice for literally forever.
I'll give it a full check out later. I was a little disappointed to learn what the whole twist was.
Yeah.
Because I'm at this point I'm worried, in a completely side tangent. I'm worried that the Persona 3 remake is just going to be that as well.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Because
I didn't even think about that.
I was mixed on the Persona 3 remake in itself, just because Persona 2 and 1 exist, and they're more deserving of a remake in just about every
Yeah.
way. But
Yeah.
I finally saw like a good gameplay trailer, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'll probably pick this up. But the entire time I'm watching, the back of my mind, I'm just imagining the scene where fucking Elizabeth comes forward and like, now with that, we've completed the simulation, and it's time to save the door.
There's one key moment that
That's
it all
evil.
depends on. I'm just like, if you change this one canon event, like
Like,
it's gonna be...
I'm so worried about that remake. Like, if that does a Final Fantasy VII remake, it'll be the worst thing it could possibly do.
when Femc steps out of like a glowing door and says,
I don't
"We
even
need
care
you."
about that.
No, the multiverse comes in like, we need you, Male C and Femc, to team up in Persona 3.
And they do the fusion dance.
Listen,
and
you're
they
gonna be
become
fighting Nyx.
non-binary.
You're gonna pull out your evoker. Then it's gonna cut away to Shinji when he gets shot in the alleyway. But like a snack cake changes and he survives. It'll fucking.
Ken gets shot instead.
That's evil. Oh yeah, spoilers for Persona 3. By the way.
that one fake voice line they have for Yukari that somebody made is actually in the game.
Listen, if you need a spoiler warning for Persona 3 in 2023, then it's on you.
You'd be surprised how many Persona 3 fans have never played Persona 3.
Well,
It's like, or like Teddy comes out squeaking Ouija for the Persona initiative.
Oh, that would actually punch
You
my
just
fucking
hear
TV.
squeaking, like getting louder.
I would crack my Steam Deck over my knee if I saw that happen. Wow. Oh, what's that one like comic meme where it's like no fears and then someone says something, it's like one fear. Like that's like literally what you just did to me, Maddie, by saying like they're gonna make the Persona 3 remake like a sequel, a weird sequel.
We need you for a very important mission. And Morgana's like, yeah, you gotta.
Honestly,
you can't go to sleep. You gotta come with us.
It kind of would be the best timeline because it would like it would fuck over everybody who's like, because there was everyone that was like, oh, I want the FES remake, like, oh no, I want the portable remake, but then it's like, oh no, fuck everyone, we're getting like the fucking Final Fantasy F7 reunited, whatever it's called.
Reignited. Like, there's been a rumored FF9 remake forever, and I'm just like, if they fuck up anything with that game too, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, no, there's just this weird tendency now to, like, because like what you mentioned with the Scott Pilgrim thing, the reason I'm like upset about it is like if I'd known that it wasn't if I'd known from the onset that it wasn't an adaptation, then I could have probably had a more open mind about it. But like with it being marketed the way it was, and then it's supposed to be a surprise, I was like, ugh, I would have just rather had the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. It's interesting how it like the expectation of things can kind of like change our perception of it. Fun fucking Chainsaw Man podcast.
Always is.
We have actually entered the one more thing section.
The root beer talk.
The root beer talk of the podcast where we get to talk about something that's not Chainsaw Man related.
I would do one thing. It's free on YouTube or watch it on Prime. But I watched. Have either of you watched Dark
Game Theory?
No, have you watched Dark Place before? Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yes.
I watched that. It's fucking incredible. Imagine it's like somebody made like a really bad 80s horror drama in a hospital, and it just unearthed it now or in 2003, by an author that's like a very pretentious, and like he's the main actor, he's the writer, like one of those characters, and it has like Matt Berry in it, who I can listen to him talk for hours.
He's very
and
funny,
it has
man.
just some like the shitty practical effects and acting and editing is just so. The first episode, just give the first episode a try, because it's like amazing. It has the most amazing funeral scene I've ever seen in like anything. I highly recommend it. It's free on YouTube.
So it was lost.
It's 6 episodes.
So it was, for a time, it was lost media.
That's the joke of it. It was like a lost. It was a lost media thing that they unearthed now, and they having interviews like the actors that were in it. So it's like a fake.
Oh wait! Oh no! I'm fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm reading the fucking.
And it had like interviews like the actors that were in the show, but they're like, it's so good. I highly recommend it. Just watch the first episode to give it a try. Like I said, it's all on YouTube.
I'm also realizing that since the last time It's been like 3 months since we last did a
I know.
Chainsaw Man thing.
There's a lot you talk about because like I watched a bunch of shit on the plane ride to Japan, or like I finished Wano in One Piece, or like
I've done 3 months worth of activities.
I'm playing Lies of P. Like
I know. I've mostly just been playing Cyberpunk, honestly, and that's a pretty good game. Now.
Yeah.
What have I
That's why I
done that's
stuck with
actually
one
good
thing.
to talk about? Damn, I don't know. Invincible's been pretty good.
Yeah, I watched the first 4 episodes of it.
Yeah, that's all there is until January.
Yeah, great. Other than Omni-Man
it's pretty
inside Fortnite and in Mortal Kombat 1, where like one has his ass huge, the other one has it flat as hell.
It's sad.
Speaking of Fortnite, Peter Griffin and Solid Snake are coming to Fortnite.
I did hear that Peter Griffin. I didn't know Solid Snake was
Yeah,
coming.
they're all the same. Like, and Eminem is in it now. It's so funny. I can't wait for Denji to join Gojo and Naruto and Goku.
Gojo. It is very funny that
Or
Gojo's
seeing Asa
in
in it be very funny.
Oh my god, I
It
would
would be
love Asa to be
Makima
in.
Power.
If they add
Denji.
Asa to Fortnite, I will fucking download
my-
Fortnite and
you
buy
can
the
play
battle
Fort-
pass. I'm
I'll redownload
I'm
Fortnite.
promising this
If
now.
I
Stream
can
it.
get Asa to do any of the Fortnite taunts, I will also.
Orange Justice.
When I played again, I did get the Gangnam Style dance, so I will buy one of the Chainsaw Man characters in Gangnam Style.
Just the fucking popcorn taunt of her just throwing popcorn into her face.
Just like thinking of like, oh my, like Makima doing like the fucking L loser dance.
All right, I've decided what I want my root beer talk to be about.
Okay.
On the flight to Japan, I did watch the Super Mario Brothers
Oh, did
movie,
you?
and I have to say that was a fucking stinker.
I watched like fucking Chernobyl on my way back on the flight. That was like really good, but I would never.
Well,
watch
no, but
it
I
again.
watched it. I watched a movie for 9-year-olds, and I got mad about it, and that's my experience.
I had that
You-
weird
You
spot-
need to watch the original Super Mario Brothers movie.
I was.
With the,
Oh, it's great. Yeah, no, that was
with
like
the cyberpunk
unironically good.
dystopia and the fucking dinosaur people.
It's so
That movie is
interesting that they decided
so
to do that.
I had that weird spot that on the plane where you could just like perfectly see the person in front of you, like wherever they're watching on their video. I
Yeah.
just see like one guy watching Megamind and like Elemental, so I was getting like highlights. My eye was drifting around between like the episodes, just see like oh, here we are in Megamind. Here's the meme.
I also,
ADHD
I did
brain.
also watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
I did also watch Elemental, and you know what? It was not bad.
I think I watched what I watched.
It was kind of nice to see like an animated rom-com. Like you don't really see too many animated rom-coms that are not like out of
I
Japan.
watched John Wick 4, which was good. I watched Disaster Artist, which was just like this is just people wanting to recreate.
Oh, that
The
made me
Room.
upset. I didn't like that movie.
And then I can't remember the other. I don't know. I watched like the Mortal Kombat animated movie, which was pretty good.
Yeah, our friend was talking about that.
Go ahead, Medi. What about you?
Yeah, you can go. I'm done. I didn't like that fucking Mario movie. I thought all the songs were stupid. I
Chris
didn't
Pratt.
like all the voice
I
Ready for Chris
watched-
Pratt, Shadow the Hedgehog?
A lot of Kamen Rider.
acting.
I finished, I think, 4 series since the last time.
Oh, nice.
I rewatched Forza 5. I watched all of Wizard. That was terrible.
Yeah, I hear Wizard and Ghost are like this 2 series people
Funny
say
enough,
like, big things about.
I also watched Ghost, and I fucking love Ghost. Ghost shot up to my 3rd favorite on the list. I fucking
Damn.
loved Ghost.
You're like the ultimate hipster to come everybody's opinion to come the guy. It's like I only seen Ghost in Xade movie and like the crossover movie. I haven't like watched it, but
like I had heard Ghost was like one of those series that people were like really mixed on, and I can see how some people might have gotten tired of it.
I
but
love the
man,
suit. I love the suits though.
I love the suit. I love the main cast. I love the story. I think Alan's fucking great. I fucking love everything about it. It was like there were small hangups I had. Like there were some episodes that dragged on a little slowly, and there were some the tone mixed because I think
Did you get to watch the XA crossover movie with Ghost?
no, I haven't watched the Pac-Man movie yet.
You should watch the Pac-Man movie because it also has
I'm-
a New Japan wrestler.
Pac-Man.
I
movie.
will get to that eventually because currently the plan is with my watch group is we're gonna go through all of the Heisei.
Did
Because
you
we've
start
already
watching
done.
Gaim?
Yeah, we've started
Good.
watching Gaim.
That's like my favorite series, so I'm excited to hear your opinions of it because I fucking love it.
But like Ghost has this like mixture of tones where it's very humorous at times, but it also covers like the concept of life and death, and like there's like some. I think a lot of people just kind of undersold Ghost as a series, and I think everyone should give it a try. Everyone should give it a try. At least watch the first like 12 episodes.
Everyone.
What I've heard,
your grandma,
a lot of complaints
your uncle,
is like the monk dude. I heard is like very annoying.
I mean, if you think Inari is annoying, then you're just a buzzkill.
Well,
he's the fucking best.
I'm too busy being blessed by the Kamen Rider Club.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the Kamen Rider Club is like, because I think I also have like, because I watched Wizard and then I watched Ghost, and Wizard has probably the most dire cast of characters. If you think Inari is annoying, the monk
I've heard
from
Mayo
Ghost,
Man.
no, he's the best. You don't talk shit about Nito. He's the only good fucking part.
I've heard he's good, but I only know that they had a guy who just eats nothing but mayonnaise, Jim.
And funny enough, that's a gimmick
What
that's
the
really
fuck?
tied to him. It goes away after like his third introduction, and he does it like maybe once or twice after that. It barely
Awesome.
matters for his character.
Oh, I do have a funny in Japan at the Airbnb in the morning. I got to watch Superhero Time live in Japan. So I got to watch Kamen Rider, Gotchard, and King Oger. And Gotchard's whatever. It's very run other than the newest episode, it's actually pretty good. No, but I got to watch King Oger live, which is one of my favorite Super Sentais currently. And it has at the end, I was hit by whiplash of it having a crossover with the Jeffrey the Giraffe, the mascot of Toys R Us. It just shows up. I was like, what is going on? Is this a commercial? But no, it's like he just shows up after the episode is done, and it's handing out Jeffrey the Giraffe stuffed animals to children. I'm just like, what is happening? Why is this happening?
Yeah, Santa shows up in Wizard.
And then I just see fan art of the one character, Jeffrey the Giraffe, Toys R Us mascot. I'm just like, this is amazing. I love this. King Oger is great. And you should watch King Oger if you watch Super Sentai, that or Don Brothers, because they are both fantastic. Oh my god. It was like those funniest whiplash of, you're watching something without subtitles, and you just see Jeffrey.
And you're like, I'm gonna understand this one day, and I can't wait for that day.
I watched it with the subs, and I still don't understand it.
Oh, okay.
He's just canon in this fantasy world, this other planet. He's just there.
Toys R Us is I guess has a death grip on the universe.
I guess so. Like the world will, like, humans can die regardless, but Jeffrey's eternal. But I thought that was very.
Oh,
funny.
actually, wait. No, I changed my Reaper talk. A new Fesh Prince of Blair came out this week.
That is true.
And that is the Fesh Prince of Blair 3 Part 1 came out, and that's the best thing ever.
It is very, very good. I recommend. If you
I just love there's kind of like a weird resurgence of YouTube poop happening right now in 2023, and I'm really here for it.
It's a good time to be a Fesh Prince fan because it's still too.
It's really it's a great time to be a Fesh Prince
Oh
fan.
yeah, I also completely caught up on Limbus Company because they just finished the most recent like update, and it's been pretty good so far after the large swath of drama involving one of the artists leaving, and there's been a significant shot at the art style, but like, and some of the writing was a little bit weaker in the most recent thing.
Everything gotta have controversy now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's still very solid. Still one of the best games that I'm currently playing.
You gotta pick a mobile game, and you gotta stick to it.
It's funny. It's like I'm playing a mobile game entirely on my computer. I'm never using it on my mobile phone because my mobile phone is garbage.
My fucking Nikkei still
That's how you know you're a true fan.
Sometimes will just crash. I guess it's too much sometimes.
What will crash your phone?
Nikkei.
Oh my god, the ass cheeks flapping are too fucking powerful.
During their big anniversary event, they added like they have added mini games to their big events. Like one was like, you ever played one of those flash games where like you make like the recipe burger, essentially, like one of those like cooking. They had one of those where you had to like match the orders, and then the most recent one had a Vampire Survivor like game that was awesome, and they're bringing it back permanently just because people loved it so much. It's actually a lot of fun. Like I played the shit out of it in Japan. Right at the Airbnb, I just played the Vampire Survivor mode. It was nice to just have that on the go.
I'm trying to find it, but
Nikkei stories.
when I was
the
in
Nikkei
Japan, I
stories,
went to
actually,
a store.
I like it a lot.
Oh, I found it. I went to a store that actually had fucking Nikkei.
Oh no, there was a pop-up. I was going to the pop-up, but like it took forever.
They have it from the front
I
and
know,
the
I
back.
saw
They
that,
have the ass cheek version and the not.
but they
ass
didn't
cheek
have any of the
version.
characters I really like.
Oh my god. Oh, you're in too deep.
There was none of the characters I really wanted there.
You're in too deep, Sam. I played
I
like
haven't spent money.
an
The game is
hour
very
of
generous with
Nikkei,
some
and
of
I
the
was
free
like,
shit. But like, if you're playing casually,
like-
it's like I don't know. I'm pretty good with it.
the only mobile game that exists in my brain is Marvel Snap, and that's all I can
haven't played
handle.
Marvel Snap in ages, so
Oh, you asshole!
I haven't played it
How dare
Japan?
you? How dare you not play the game that I play?
because it just got me frustrated.
I know, yeah, I didn't play it in Japan either. But Sam, you don't even know. They've released a new card for fucking what's her name? Remember in Annihilation the lady that takes Quasar's bands? They made her a card, and I guess her name is like Rail or something, but they also call her like Conquest. I don't even know. They gave her a stupid name, but her ability is literally that at the end of the game she moves to whatever location will make you lose.
Interesting.
They made a card that literally its goal is to make
You
you
better
lose.
fill up your board. You better have. I haven't
you have
played.
to-
I, just,
yeah.
like, I don't know. It got me frustrated. I just took a break from it. I just needed it.
It's a bad game, but I like it. Yep, and that's it. That's it for me.
Yeah.
All right, how long is this? 2 hours yet?
Almost.
It's almost 2 hours. I think we should probably
All right.
wrap
we'll
this
plug it
bad
up.
boy up.
We'll plug up the bite that was taken out of Fumi.
Yeah, she should have
The
like
bite of
a
97.
perfect little chunk.
Yeah. Is Quanxi actually the Purple Man?
Before we get a comment, I do. Yes, the story does take place in 1999. We know that, but we're still making a
So
joke.
what? She just took a bite out of her? That's not the only thing she
99,
took.
98, depending on the certain days.
Our next episode will just be in the style of those two guys that just talk to each other.
I guess September's kind of like half. Yeah, September's deep enough half into the year, so we're probably 99.
You could make an argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's dressed up like it's wintertime yet, so I guess it should be like fall maybe.
Yeah, fall or that sounds about right. Medi, go ahead and plug whatever you need to plug.
Yeah, what are you gonna
you
plug?
can buy Shimonetta at buyshimonetta.com.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh,
Oh, go watch Kamen Rider Ghost. Like fuck, like dude.
Oh my gosh.
watch
He added something.
watch fours or Gaim or double. That's all. When I was so there was so much I was had Kamen Rider overload with how much merch I was looking at Japan. Like I was bought like so much, but I was good. I bought a bunch of bottles for my belt, for my build belt.
Bottles?
Yeah, the gimmick of that season is like combine two bottles and like mix them together.
Bottles with like it's almost like not soda, like
No, that's a different power up in that season.
yeah, I mean, well, that's the can. There's your bottles of like fizzy stuff. But I did. Speaking of like merch, I did recently because it was something I got on my birthday. I got the fucking CSM or the complete series modification for the Thighs belt. So I now have my very much man-child play toy.
When I went to the Kamen Rider store, they had like that and the what's the other guy from Thighs?
Kaiza.
Yeah, they had his belt that was all over the place. They have a picture of it at the front of the store, but like.
Oh yeah, because that movie's coming out soon, the 20th anniversary.
But I need to get back to watching fours, and then I want to jump into a phase 1 of that era and watch Kabuto because I've been thinking about it.
Yo, Kabuto's pretty good.
Here it is. This is the front of the store, but I'll plug it up. Thank you everybody for listening this far. Thank you. If you liked the episode, you leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You can also follow the podcast on the Twitter, and it has me and Jim's all of our handles
The
on
Twitcher?
there. The Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Okay.
You can also, if you want your name shouted out on a JOKAKA episode, you can leave whatever you're comfortable leaving on the Patreon. And I think that's everything.
Hell yeah.
And with that, we will see you next time. And no matter how many, depends on how many breaks there are between chapters. But keep an eye out. We have Jujutsu Kaisen episodes as coming out, I guess, in between these.
Yeah, so I'm especially
those are
interested to
fun.
see you guys' reaction to this week's episode.
Oh, now I can't wait.
Yeah, because I think
It was
we really left off with like Two-Face walking. So
Oh yeah, I
That's
forgot.
really-
Yeah, last time we saw when Nanami was like half burned.
he
Oh.
becomes Two-Face. He's gonna get a coin. He's gonna flip it, and then he's gonna cut you.
He gets really into character for no reason. That was before we wrap it up. That was something that was really cool. I saw a lot of really cool Japanese cosplayers cosplaying as Nanami.
They love Nanami.
Because I was over in Japan like on Halloween, so it was perfect. I was like, oh my god, you are Nanami IRL.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't wait. Also, there's a new fucking Ghibli movie coming out next
And
week.
Godzilla.
I can't wait to watch that one. And yeah, we're seeing Godzilla tomorrow, right, Sam?
Yeah, yes we are.
Hell
And
yeah.
oh, if you want to see my reaction to the Attack on Titan finale, we had that came out recently.
Oh yes, we did.
I
yeah,
avoided
okay.
spoilers
We've-
completely in Japan. And
Maddie, have you watched Attack on Titan, Maddie?
No.
Do you know like the ending though,
I
right?
know Bird.
There is like one moment at the ending where like I could not wait for it, and Sam like literally was just like laughing hysterically. It was so bad. It was awesome.
Yeah, I do know that was like a notoriously bad ending for some people.
that's all I knew going in there, and I had the manga panel of that one scene on my phone. I crack up every time I scroll through my phone.
There must be like the disparity between like the quality of Attack on Titan versus the horribleness of the ending. It must be like the biggest disparity. Like Attack on Titan, I think is like it could have been like one of the best anime series of all time until like the last like literally like 10 chapters. I think it like fucking explodes.
Like my experience with Attack on Titan was hearing people talk about how it never, like the series was never ending because it was like part final /3 segment 1.
Literally, yeah.
And then like one day I woke up and it was like, it's over. And I'm like, huh? Okay.
It's finally over. Yeah, it's so insane to me that they didn't like. So yeah, the whole joke about like 10 finales. They should have just literally done like a movie. They should have done like a final season and then a movie instead of a final season part 2, part 3, and then like part 3, part 1.
You had to make it as
Okay.
complicated as possible.
All right, I shouldn't have done
And
that.
if you
I
want the
shouldn't have
full
gone off
Attack
that
on Titan
tangent.
thoughts, let's look at the Joe Attack on Titan.
All right, well, thank you very much for listening. Thank you again for joining
I
us
just see the fucking
on our.
picture on my phone of that panel.
And I'm looking forward to the next chapter of Chainsaw
Yeah.
Man.
And with that, we will see you next time. I guess we're gonna hit the 150s. Yeah, we're hit the
Yeah,
Chainsaw
right.
Man chapter 150.
We're getting close to doubling because the first section of Chainsaw Man was 97 chapters. So
Oh damn!
Oh wow!
we're almost as long, if not longer. We're approaching
Damn.
that.
Holy shit! That's crazy.
Neat.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll see you in 10 more months. Goodbye.
Bye.